the heck are you doing watching and listening to me? You should be out drinking eggnog and going to parties and, well, it is kind of early. Buying Christmas presents and wrapping presents. And Merry Christmas, everybody. And it's very important this time of the year. This is our annual, well, it will be annual once we're doing this for a year, reminder to tell the joy-hating bastards at the Washington Post Merry Christmas. And we'll tell you why. It's a great reminder. We've never forgotten that. Trump's back on stage. He was at America Fest in Phoenix or Glendale or, well, it was Arizona anyway over the weekend. We'll talk about that as well. Not going to spend a lot of time on what happened on the New York City subway system over the weekend. I am going to talk about the horrific timing of the post that New York's governor sent out shortly before that happened. But we'll wrap it all up today with a story you maybe never heard of. We have all heard the Rockin' Round the Christmas Tree song by Brenda Lee. It's like a Christmas classic at this point. It's one of the most amazing comeback stories in music history maybe you've never heard of. And it's the only song that's ever knocked off Mariah Carey off the top of the charts. Of course, Mariah was back because she's like the queen of Christmas. And once you unthaw her, she's not getting frozen again. But anyway, we'll get to that as well. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. 2 days before the big day. We are literally at the 2-yard line before Christmas Day, before Santa comes. And this is why I say it's an annual reminder to tell the bastards, the joy-hating cretins at the Washington Post and many others in the media, Merry Christmas. Because this is a reminder. It's the anniversary of, in 2018, one of the most infamous op-eds ever published in American history. And it was this, and I'm not going to read the whole article, mostly because there's a paywall still on the Washington Post, and I'm not going to give them a dime. I'm not going to do that, but it's everywhere these days. And the headline said, "Please don't wish me Merry Christmas. It's impolite and alienating to assume I follow your religion." That's right. In 2018. They actually followed this up. They got so much backlash. Well, it's actually still to this day, it's how these things work because they get people like me to talk about it. One of the most read, downloaded, clicked on op-eds in Washington Post history because it was so controversial and just enraging. They followed it up in 2022, I guess because there was so much of a backlash, by saying, "It's not a war on Christmas. It's about inclusivity. That's all." And they haven't really backed up. Now, we all know that because we got a hold of the media these days, media is not what it was, even in 2018 or 2022. We got a hold of the media, thanks mainly to Elon buying Twitter, turning it into X and community notes, which will play a big part in the New York subway story here in just a little bit. But it's still there. It still exists. There's still, watchdogs of whatever the hell agenda they're trying to push through in the media to try to, they hate everything. They hate Christmas. They hate America. They hate freedom. I don't know. They think they're the vanguards of like socialism or something. I don't know what it is. So even though they're less powerful than they ever were, and probably the height of their power was right around 2017, 2018, even though we chopped that in half, and the ratings for CNN and MSNBC, those are like in the toilet, and the mainstream networks as well, they still exist. So this is why we need to make this an annual reminder to always wish them Merry Christmas. It sounds like a small thing, but they hate it. This is why we're going to come through and always remind them. Oh, by the way, CNN, just wrapped up. I guess they have to report this. The other networks don't seem to make all of their ratings public, but CNN does for whatever reason. Maybe they have to because of their shareholders. This was their worst rated year in CNN's history. The worst rated year they've ever had. And this was an election year. That should really tell you something about the power of the media and how it's going away. But don't ever let them back in because they caused a lot of this mess we're going through right now. But it's all getting bigger. In fact, Trump was back on stage. I got to tell you, over the weekend, I kind of missed him. It was quiet for a while. He was putting together the cabinet positions. But there was America Fest in Arizona over the weekend, and he did speak at that. And, well, isn't that funny? He also reminded us to say Merry Christmas.
Well, hello, Arizona. It's great to be here. Nice to win the election. That's very nice to win. And I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. They don't say that too much anymore. We say it.
Yep. It's back. We're never going back again. We actually talked about this a few weeks ago. I guess it was maybe right after Thanksgiving. and just personal observation. A lot of you actually reached out to me and you said it too. I got a lot of pictures from you guys in direct messages of Target. I think somebody sent me a Walmart thing. Merry Christmas signs everywhere. That's big and that's good. It's not just happy holidays, it's Christmas. This is where it starts. If a war on culture and bringing back freedom of expression is back, probably will start in the Christmas season. This is why this is important to always say that. He also talked about this, what you're probably going to face at the Christmas table this year and what you're going to listen to after this election. If you haven't already had the family get-togethers at the Christmas party.
And woke has to stop, because along with everything else, it's destroying our country. We're going to stop woke. Woke is bullshit.
Yes, it is. The reason why I cherry-picked that little sound from America Fest over the weekend, besides the fact that he says bullshit, and I quite enjoy the fact that our politicians, J.D. Vance has said it too, I like the fact that our politicians can swear these days. I like that. Not that I'm a big fan of swearing. I just think it's more authentic. And I kind of debated this. You know, in 30 years of radio, it was trained out of me, don't ever swear when one of these, a microphone is right in front of you. It just becomes like muscle memory. You know, but once I escaped from that and kind of went into the live stream podcast world, I said, you know what? I swear like a sailor in my real life. I just be more authentic and say it. So Christmas is Christmas and bullshit is bullshit. See, it's freedom. Doesn't it feel good? But he was there, and it's important that he said that. And what I was getting to was the reason why I cherry-picked that was the fact that he's leading the charge in this cultural revolution we're going through right now, where freedom of expression is back. It matters to you, me, and everybody else. It's kind of like what we were talking about right after the election. It's going to be 4 straight years of the most brainwashed among you, people you work with, people in your family, maybe people in your house. I don't know. We've seen it already. What have we seen? The screaming car videos, people just screaming at the top of their lungs because Trump won an election. They lost an election. People shaving their heads. What was that other thing? That other, I forget the name of it. It was like 4B or something, but it was the liberal women refusing to have sex for 4 years, whatever it was. Most of them you want to have sex with anyway. You've seen that. You've seen the rage fests. Who knows what's going to happen at the inauguration? I'm sure there'll be protests there. They're just so that trickles down, and you're going to see that at your family Christmas party too, if you haven't already. So you got 2 choices here. I mean, personally, it's a little bit different for me because I can come on here every day and kind of like vent and talk about it. So when I encounter people like this in my personal life, I don't really have to deal with them. My plan, personally, I'm going to sit back and just enjoy it for 4 years. I'm going to enjoy the meltdown. I see it as entertainment. I see it as funny. It's a personal choice. When they melt down over this because they can't, their minds were like broken in half because they can't understand. They can't understand how that bad orange man is back and, oh, hate is back. I just let them twist. Let them twist in the wind. It's not my job. It's not your job. It's not anybody's job but their own to try to figure it out and to try to find some common sense, if they can already. If some of them can. I don't think they can't, but whatever. It's also a choice if you want to try to talk some sense into them. I'm just warning you, after having gone through this for a long time, you're probably not going to be able to convince them of anything. So if you're at your Christmas party or whatever, getting together after the holidays, next year, next 4 years, at work maybe, in the cubicle, in the office, or at a restaurant, you see people melting down over this stuff, over the future of America, and they can't stand it because they've been brainwashed to think it's something else, just let them. That's my choice anyway. That's my recommendation. Just let them twist in the wind because that's their problem. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's horrific. You probably saw the headlines already, and it's just really hate even talking about this stuff. But to me, the message is the horrible messaging from leadership in New York City and from a larger perspective, the state of New York. So you heard about the New York City subway fire. It wasn't that. That's what the headline said. A lady was lit on fire, a sleeping lady on a subway car. Suspect was arrested. He was a Guatemalan illegal immigrant. Lady was on fire in a subway car. Okay, that's horrific enough. I'm not going to spend much time on this. Here's what I'll spend time on. And this is why I asked the question, if politicians, and in this case, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, schedules posts, we used to call them tweets, they're posts now on X, about anything they're doing in their agenda. Can you really trust them? Because this is a perfect example. Literally hours before this horrific thing happened, Governor Kathy Hochul sent out this post. In March, I took action to make our subway safer for the millions of people who take the trains each day. Since deploying the National Guard, MTA safety efforts, and adding cameras to all subway cars, crime's going down, ridership is going up. Literally hours after that, you know what happened. We don't need to regurgitate it again. This poor lady who was sleeping on a subway was set on fire. This is why, first of all, it's a bad communication move for the politicians to send out a pre-scheduled post, or tweet if you want to call it that still. But also, if they do that, if any politician or leadership person does that, can you trust a post or a message that's pre-scheduled? I mean, how authentic could that actually be? Yeah, we'll schedule that for a couple of days before Christmas. We'll write that out and get that out there. Really? You really want to do that? Because look exactly what happened. Not just a bad move, but so disingenuous that this actually happened. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific thing. And I would say, really, truly, I don't think they'll get the message, but any politician that looks at how embarrassed Kathy Hochul was at this tweet, and then something horrific happened. And by the way, she got, thank God for community notes on X if you're on those. She got community noted to oblivion because obviously she had to take down this tweet, this post, after what happened. But it lives forever when it's out there. I don't trust any politician, any elected leader that pre-schedules a post on anything. It doesn't sound authentic. You're not reacting to anything. You're not really announcing anything in real time. And in this case, look what can happen. Absolutely horrific. You know what else I don't trust? And this goes back to our attack on the media. You know, we were taking shots at the Washington Post already this morning. Don't forget to wish them a Merry Christmas. How about the New York Daily News? You know what their headline was? And they stuck with this. They didn't take this down at all. They stuck with it. Woman dies after she catches fire in Brooklyn subway car. What? Woman dies after she catches fire. She was attacked. What are you talking about? She was set on fire. They keep doing this. Even though we've made great strides in telling the media to stuff it and hold them accountable, and community notes is absolutely great. And here's another one that got community noted to oblivion. They're still trying. You know, they're barely, the mainstream legacy media is holding on by a thread, but they're still trying this kind of crap. Woman catches fire. Who believe that we have so much access to immediate information now? And again, it's like the theme of 24. We are the media now. We're the news now because of media outlets like X. Who still believes? Who do they think they're fooling with this? Woman catches fire. So that's the kind of stuff that needs to stop. That's why you think, even though we've taken legacy media, the lying legacy media, down so many notches, that's why you have to stay on their asses, because of stuff like that. This flat out lie. I don't know what the goal would be. Why would you try to send out a misleading headline like that in the first place? Like what? What? It's like some of the first. There was another horrific thing. Not to get into this, but in Germany with that Christmas market over the weekend, car rushes through crowd of people, injuring many, killing some. No, it wasn't a car. It was a terrorist that did that. You don't blame the car. You blame the terrorist. I don't know what the agenda would be of distorting the facts to get to that, but they still do. That's why we all have to hold them accountable, right? Change the communication, send that into mindset into action. That's how stuff gets done. All right. That was too horrific talking about. I didn't want to talk about the New York subway fire, but there we were. We got into it. Here's a Christmassy story for you. It's a comeback story, which we love in our culture, in our society, right? We love comeback stories. We all know the Brenda Lee song, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Is it my favorite song? No, but whatever. It's got a nice story. I'm used to it being there, right? And all the Christmas music stations and everything else. I had heard this story once before, and I wasn't sure of the exact facts. It was first recorded in 1958. It's old. You listen to the original recording, and it's old. She had other songs. She had actually a big country career, but this song in particular became probably what Brenda Lee is most known for. And you can think of it now in your head as you hear it. You may not know, it wasn't a hit at all at first. Here's some people, including Keith Urban and a a classic rock DJ, Shotgun Tom Kelly, talking about it. It's an amazing comeback story. It's a pretty good lesson.
Got a call, and they said, Brenda, there's a movie out. It's called Home Alone, and your song's all over it.
Brenda Lee is a part of millions of families and has been a part of their life, their entire life. And that's an extraordinary accomplishment with just one song.
It knocked Mariah Carey off the charts. You heard Brenda Lee singing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and it's Christmas time, baby.
First of all, I miss classic jocks who sounded like that guy, Shotgun Tom Kelly. He wraps up the story with, "It is Christmas time, baby." Miss guys like that. I never had a voice like that. I wish I did. But what a great comeback story. I had no idea that it was the only song that ever knocked Mariah Carey off the number one spot. Didn't last for long, because once you unthaw Mariah Carey, she's not staying frozen. She came back, of course. It became number one because she is the queen of Christmas, and she didn't even want to record that song. Mariah Carey didn't. Can you believe that? Where would Mariah Carey be if she didn't listen to some record producer somewhere who told her, yeah, we got this Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas. Maybe you should just try to record it. She didn't want to, but they kind of forced her into it. Imagine if she didn't. Where would Mariah Carey be now? I don't know. Whatever. Great comeback story for Brenda Lee, though. How about that? And now it's a staple. Now it's with us forever. Thanks for finding me. Tomorrow is going to be Christmas Eve at the 1 yard line before the big Christmas day. So we're getting close. And again, the takeaway, wish not only the Washington Post, everybody in your life Merry Christmas. Because don't let anybody ever tell you how to change your wording for a holiday that you enjoy. That's the first takeaway. The second one is, like always, even in the Christmas season, don't take any crap from anybody. All right, thanks for finding me, the audio podcast. Even though everybody's got a bizarre schedule this week because Christmas is in the middle of the week, it'll be posted on all the platforms where you get your podcast. Apple, Spotify. What's the other one? Oh, yeah, iHeart. I always forget. And this lives as a replay here on X and on Facebook and on YouTube as well. All that said, we're getting closer and closer. And most importantly, we'll talk to you tomorrow, and Merry Christmas.